Hi everyone, I am Farina Osman, the founder of Seratu Aatai, and you are with me in Sabah, Malaysia, Borneo. Today, I'm going to bring you to Kinabatangan, which is the home of the majestic Bornean elephants. The journey to Kinabatangan will take about 7 hours, and while I'm driving, I'm going to share with you the unique features of the Bornean elephants. The forest of Borneo is the home to some impressive wildlife on the planet. The Bornean elephants in particular is one of it. To many, they are known as the Bornean pygmy elephants. However, they can still weigh up to 3 tons and stands over 9 feet high. When I first started observing the elephants in 2006, several female herds were moving together as one big herd. If you are lucky, you will get to see over 100 elephants at one time. Bornean elephant loves water, especially during the scorching heat at Kinabatangan. This is the map of Bornean Island, the third largest island in the world and consists of 3 countries, Malaysia, Indonesia and Brunei. Unlike the endemic orangutan, which could be found throughout the island of Borneo, the endangered Bornean elephant's distribution is limited to the north of Borneo, which is in Sabah and North Kalimantan. When we zoom in closer to Sabah, elephants are only found on the east coast of Sabah. There are 3 main populations, which is the central Sabah, Lower Kinabatangan, and Tabin. Currently, we projected that there are about 1,500 wild elephants roaming in, within, and surrounding these ranges. The story behind the existence of Bornean elephants on the Borneo Island has always been something of a mystery. Were they naturally occurred in Borneo, or were they brought from Java to Sulu and then introduced in Borneo by the king of Sulu, as illustrated in the map here? Only the DNA of the Bornean elephant could help us clarify these questions. Luckily, we don't have to harm the elephants to get their DNA. We just need to find a fresh elephant poop like this one, which, for your information, is the biggest elephant poop I have ever seen in my entire career. We scrap the outer layer of the poop, especially the slimy bit, put it in the tubes, and then bring them to the lab to process and get the DNA. So once the process are done in the lab, we have to analyze the DNA, and what we got is this complicated but important graph. What this graph actually showing us that the Bornean elephant have in fact occurred in Borneo since between 11,000 years to 18,000 years ago. During this period, the seawater level were very shallow that allow the animals to travel via land bridges to different islands including Java, Borneo and Sumatra. We became more excited when our colleague ASEAN, who is a zoo ecologist, made another remarkable discovery recently. ASEAN, tell us more about your discovery.
Hello, Farina. These are indeed very exciting and very important findings from NIA, and they are surely one of the highlights of discovery in my career as a zoo archaeologist. I still vividly remember the very exciting moments when these unusual specimens were rediscovered in the storage rooms of the museum in Kuching. The specimens, which you can see over here, is part of a cheek tooth from a young elephant. The morphology of the cheek tooth fragments closely resembles that of the Asian elephant, Elephas maximus, but the layer from which it was unearthed was estimated to be around 16,400 to about 10,500 years old, based on carbon-14 dating of nearby archaeological layers. To me, these unique specimens in the collection of the Seratu museums clearly show that the Asian elephant was part of the native megafauna of Borneo since at least the late Pleistocene times. Though the exact relations between these Sarawak prehistoric elephants and the living ones in Borneo is far from clear, it may be safe for us to say that elephants as a species shared the same habitat with humans in Borneo since prehistoric times. As an important part of the native biodiversity, the species can continue to maintain a healthy forest environment, which is so very crucial to the well-being of all communities by way of providing key ecological services such as clean air, water, and resilience to forest fires.
Not only that they are genetically unique, but you could also notice that the Bornean elephant has slightly larger ears and longer tails to be compared to the other Asian elephants. That's why now the Bornean elephant is recognized as a subspecies of Asian elephants, which make them one of the highest priority population for Asian elephants conservation.
So we finally arrived in Sukau, one of the village along the Kinabatangan River. I want to bring all of you along with me in the river cruise to the area where I saw my first wild Bornean elephants. So let's go. Assalamualaikum. So we are ready in the boat now, and I'm not alone. With me today are the two members of Seratu Aatai. We have at the back there.
Hi, I'm Emon.
And hi, I'm Achang.
So you guys ready? Shall we? So let's go.
Kinabatangan River is about 560 kilometers, the longest river in Sabah. The river provides water supply and fisheries to the people in this region, and more importantly, it sustains one of the world's richest ecosystems. It is also recognized as Sabah's first and Malaysian largest Ramsar site. Here is the proboscis monkey, which is a long-nosed monkey and endemic to Borneo and is found mostly in mangrove forest in Kinabatangan. The saltwater crocodile frequently make themselves visible. You might see them feasting on fishes or any small animals you can find in the river. And remember to always pay attention to the fruiting trees. You might see the endemic orangutan picking the fruit like this one. Kinabatangan has changed so much, mostly due to commercial logging activities at the beginning, and most of its lowland rainforest now has been developed to monoculture plantations. So to avoid further habitat degradation and fragmentation, the government has gazetted about 50,000 hectares of land. But most of these land are swampy and not really suitable for people and wildlife. So with limited spaces available, people and biodiversity have to learn how to coexist now. We are almost reaching Danau Kelinanap, which is an oxbow lake where I first saw the wild Bornean elephants in 2006. The Oxbow Lake is the curved U-shaped lakes that exist and are created by the meandering action of a river. Not only the lake is critical breeding areas for many freshwater fish species, but it is also one of elephant favorite resting spots. On that late afternoon, I was with a herd of about 10 elephants. Most of them were females with their calves. These elephants knew I was there, but they looked calm and no signs of stress. So I use this time to get myself familiar with their behavior.
So while watching this elephant, suddenly we heard a very loud noise, and we suspected that this noise came from a noise cannon. The device is being used to scare off the elephants from coming close to people's land. And then this sound has made the babies nervous and then started to agitate the adult female. So all these elephants were making so much noise, and I was trapped in the middle of this group. They ignore me because they were so nervous and tried to look after the members of the herd. And then it just came to my mind that these elephants are living in their own natural habitats, and it's so hard for them to live peacefully. Since that day, I decided to become the voice of the Bornean elephants, and I want to tell the world the plight of the Bornean elephants that living in this human-dominated landscape like Kinabatangan. We started by asking one question, which is, how does the elephants try to feed themselves in this highly crowded area? We look at their movement, we try to understand their social structure. So I had this wonderful opportunity to follow elephants for several years during my PhD. At the end of the study, we managed to identify elephants hotspots along Kinabatangan, so that we can now focus our efforts on trying to protect this area. And we also realized that most of the time people misunderstood elephant behavior. That's why we are not able to manage the human and elephants conflicts effectively. To educate and create awareness among the stakeholders about elephants' behavior and ecology, we always use 4 keywords, which is BEANS. BEANS stands for big, intelligent, nomad, and also social.
Since elephants are big, they require an enormous amount of food. Elephants may spend about 12 to 18 hours a day for feeding, and their favorite foods along Kinabatangan are grasses and bamboos. However, the habitat patches that contain these food plants are small and scattered, and as a result, elephants have to extend their range now to satisfy their dietary requirement. Right now, elephants are getting used to eat on different parts of all palm trees. The second keyword is I, which is intelligent. So here is Sandy. He is a permanent resident of oil palm plantations near Sukau. One day, while trying to cross the oil palm plantation, he has mistakenly touched the electric fence. When he felt a sharp shock after touching the wires, he is supposed to leave this area, but he is so determined to move forward. So what he did was he put his trunk into his mouth. And then slowly he put his trunk on the other side of the fence to avoid the wires. And he moves slowly forward and starts to cross over the wires without even touching it. In the next example, to show how intelligent elephant is in this particular situation, when the elephant heard the sound of the excavator chopping down the oil palm trunks, they starts to come out from their hiding because they know that they are fresh oil palm trees trunk which contain high starch and sugar available for them. So how remarkable is this, right?
Because elephants require a huge amount of food, they need a big space to fulfill their needs. Especially the males that eat more than the females so that they can have a bigger body size and good body conditions. Usually the male elephants, they don't mind to travel further and get more food resources, while the females will look more for the safety and consistent water resources for the family herds.
The last keyword is social. Elephant, especially the female, has strong relationship between the members of its group. These two females are Belle and Tess, and both of these elephants help each other to look after their calf. In the risky situation like an attempt to cross the Kinabatangan River, the female elephants which lead the group will make sure that everyone is ready and it is safe for all elephants to cross. So no one is left behind. When the leader sensed danger, she made just a very short trumpeting sound and everyone quickly came out from the water. Then they try again. This time, they managed to swim peacefully in their own group to the other side of the river.
The biggest challenges for the elephant population that live in this kind of landscape is that there are many barriers to their movement. When they are stuck in certain area for a longer time, for example near the village or any monoculture plantation, then there are higher chances a conflict situation can happen. In 2018, we established Seratu Aatai. Seratu Aatai means solidarity because it's time for everyone to play their role and the responsibility to ensure the survival of elephants in Borneo. Our team now consists of 11 members who are all Malaysians. To achieve our visions, we are focusing our efforts in three main components. First, research. We continue to try to understand elephants' behavior and ecology, especially when they are living outside the protected area. And secondly, we try to engage with the community, with the industry players, so that we can come up with the best management plan to reduce human and elephants conflicts. And finally, we try to educate wider public people about the plight of the Bornean elephants, not only in Sabah, but also internationally. Thank you everyone so much for listening. We hope that you already learned a little bit about the plight of the Bornean elephants and the importance to conserve them. Please do share with your family members and your friends. If you want to know more about Seratu Aatai and our activities and progress, and just to support us, please do come and visit our websites and check out our Facebook and Twitter. I look forward to answer any questions and to share more stories with you in the future. Thank you so much again, WCN, for this opportunity, and I hope to see you again in the future.